So when I look at what we're doing in 9-2, we have another special journal. A special journal means that we only journalize specific type of transactions in there. So the first journal that we learned yesterday was only for purchasing of merchandise on an account. Now, when I look at this journal, guess what type of transactions we're going to be journalizing? The title of the journal might give it away. Cash payments. So when our source document is a what? C, right? The only thing that's going to go on here is going to be if I pay cash for anything. So what are some things that we pay cash for? Rent, supplies, prepaid insurance, right? All of those types of things. Anytime a business would have money going out, it's going to go on here. And I want us to take a look at, we have some special columns in here. We have our date column. That looks the same. Notice here, on our last purchases journal, it didn't say account title, it said account credited. But here, we're back to where it says account title. Instead of source document, we now say, Trenton, stop. I asked you guys not to start. I asked you to listen. Okay? Only thing that's going to go here is going to be our check numbers. So I don't have to write C103 now. Now it's just going to be 103. We're going to have a whole chapter dealing with posting. You already understand posting, but posting from special journals gets a little bit different. Now, when we look at the rest of our journal, general debit and credit. Makes sense, right? We've done that before. Nothing earth-shattering on that. Anything that doesn't have a special account column will go under general. We have some different special account columns now, though, than what we had in our general journal from before. We have this column right here called accounts payable debit. This is what is going to kick your butt on the test. Before, I would write accounts payable Don's Quality Market. I would write accounts payable sales. Now, I no longer write accounts payable. I would just write sales, and where would I put it? In the accounts payable column. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit of a switch there. You are still going to be able to get your debits and credits to come out correctly by putting it in your general debit and credit column, but it's going to be marked wrong. And there's going to be at least 5 of you that are going to do that on the test for this chapter. You have to make sure that you no longer write the word accounts payable, but we put it in our accounts payable column. Why? This is what's important. A business needs to know at the end of the month, how much did it pay to its creditors? Creditors, again, is that term of people we owe money to. Prior to learning about our cash payments journal, there was no way for you to track that information quickly. Now, I am going to be able to know that by looking at my accounts payable column total, and it's going to say, all right, this month I spent this much money to the people that we owed things to. Okay, because paying money to the people we owe money to, making payments to people we owe money to is different than me going out and buying supplies. Supplies increase the value of my business. Okay. The other thing that we have here, next to accounts payable debit, is going to be purchases, discount, credit. Okay? So we dealt with in the last section, purchases. Purchases if the cost account has a debit normal balance. We also have something where businesses will talk to me and they'll say, hey, you want to buy this calculator? It retails for $20. But if you pay me within the next 10 days, you only have to pay me $17. Is that a good idea for me? Yes. So businesses will talk to each other and they will give them discounts. Hey, if I don't pay within the next 10 days, they say pay me in 30, but you have to pay me the whole $20. So businesses will go through and look at those discounts that are available to them, and they'll try to pay early because then it costs them less money, and I will charge my customers the same amount, right? So a purchases discount is an agreement between myself and that vendor that I'm dealing with, where if I pay within a certain time frame, I get a portion off. Not all vendors will do this. So for example, Carly, when you just bought those items for school specialty, it wasn't your first choice of where to look at, would you agree? Why? You didn't know it was there? But even then, after I told you about that, you looked at it and what did you still think?
They didn't have everything.
They didn't have everything, right? And what did you think about their prices?
They're fine. They're nothing special.
Nothing special? Until when, Carly?
So we got Miss Whistle's 30% off coupon.
Okay. So we have an agreement with School Specialty. There are certain items that we automatically get 30% off because we are a preferred vendor. And then once you take 30% off of items, then you're like, hey, that's a pretty good deal. We'll take that. So that is why businesses do that, because otherwise we could have gone to Walmart and bought the items. But they know that if they want to keep business, they have to give some type of incentive. So purchases discount. Remember we talked about capital and drawing? Capital was an owner's equity account. Drawing was a contra owner's equity account. Capital had a credit normal balance. Drawing had a debit. Now when we talk about purchases, purchases is a cost account, has a debit normal balance. Purchases discount is a contra cost account. The only reason that we have it is to keep track of how much of a discount we got from when we bought items. So at the end of the month, when I total it up and I see that there's $200 there, that means, hey, we just saved $200 by making those payments earlier. That is good financial information. That's why we have special columns, because it allows us to make different decisions. If we didn't track it, we wouldn't know about it, and we wouldn't be able to see where we could make more money for our business. So again, purchases discount is a contra cost account, and it has a credit normal balance. The contra accounts always have the opposite normal balance of whatever its controlling account is. And then we have our last column on our payments journal, which is cash. Makes sense? And notice there's only one column for cash. It's only cash credit. Because we are going to have a separate journal when we get money coming in. It allows us to keep track of things a little bit differently. So it's really important that we see what our columns are and go from there. And this column right here is going to be one that's going to kick your butt. Accounts payable. Let's take a look at our transactions. Our directions read, the cash payments journal for Franklin Lumber is given below. Your instructor will guide you through the following example. Using the current year, journalize the transactions on page 10 of the cash payments journal. The checks are used as source documents are abbreviated as a C. Paid cash for telephone bill, $85. C321. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get our month on here, which is October. Put the date of the first. Clayton, what do you think is going to go in my account title? Utilities. I agree. So we're going to put in utilities expense. Now, check number, I'm only going to type 321. I do not need to put C in there. Okay. Olivia, what columns am I going to use? Yes, good call, because otherwise we wouldn't put it in there. And we're going to put it in there for $85. What's my other column? Yes, you got it. Perfect. So this is very much like transactions we did before. Would you agree? Nothing dramatic there. The 7th, paid cash for office supplies, $52. C322. We're going to put the date of the 7th on there. Isaac, what's my account title? Yes, we got to make sure we do supplies office. Do not use supplies expense. That would be a no-no. Go ahead and put in my check number 322. What columns is this going to go in there, Seth?
General debit.
Shazam wham, I agree. $52 each one. General debit, cash credit. These are not any different than what we've journalized before. So these should be relatively straightforward, like, yep, I get it, Mrs. Grassel. I can do this. Rico Sanchez all over again. Then we take a look at the 11th. This is where it changes. Dun, dun, dun. Paid cash to GM Hardware for merchandise with the list price of $80 less a 60% trade discount. New word in there, trade discount. Okay. People get confused between a trade discount and a purchases discount. Those are different. This is my best way of explaining a trade discount. Have you ever shopped at Kohl's? Oftentimes at Kohl's, there'll be a rack that'll say 25% off, right? That's like a trade discount. It's basically a certain percent that you get off. What you do with the trade discount is you record the value of the item at what you paid for, not what it would have been. So if I go to Kohl's and I see a dress and that dress was $75, but I really only had to pay $30, I'm not going to take out of my checkbook $75, I'm only going to take out $30. So the same thing's going to hold true when we record a trade discount for our business. They give us the original price, but we only have to pay 60% of it. So again, my example here, I have an $800 dress, but I only need to pay, I get 60% off. So how much of it do I have to pay? 40, right? So 40% of 800 is going to be the amount that I pay for that item that I'm going to journalize it. So the date is going to be the 11th. What am I buying? Merchandise. We do not have an account called merchandise, so don't type it in. What was our last journal we just worked on? Yesterday? Purchases. Purchases is your cost account where we record anything that you're going to turn around to sell, like the word merchandise. So anytime you see the word merchandise, you should be like, ding, ding, ding. My account that I use is purchases. So the date is the 11th. My account title is going to be purchases. My source document or my check number is going to be 324. Oops. Now, you have to use your handy dandy little calculator. What? 323? Yep, I went down too many rows. Thank you. So, again, I get a trade discount. It says my item was originally $800, but I get 60% off. So I'm going to take 800, I'm going to multiply it by 40. Or you can take 800 multiplied by 60 and then subtract that from 800, but I just find multiplying it by 40. It's reciprocal, it's a little bit faster. How much is it? 320. Would you agree, mathematically, how we got that? It's going to go under general debit and cash credit. So I just bought some product that I'm going to turn around and sell that was basically on sale. That's what a trade discount is. So 320 and 320, general debit and general credit. So there's something new dealing with buying merchandise and getting a trade discount. Most common mistake I see from this transaction. Students put 800 here, then they put 320 here, and then they put the discount there, but that's not what a purchases discount is. A trade discount is different than a purchases discount. Let's take a look at the 17th. Paid cash and account to West Supply covering purchase invoice $199 for $3,420 less a 2% discount. Check number 324. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is all of this crazy numbers? I have two source documents. Anytime they tell you you're paying on a bill, it's always going to give you the original bill or the original purchase invoice. So we already recorded purchase invoice $199. We're just saying that's what the bill we're paying. Originally, we owed West Supply $3,420. But because we paid them early, we get 2% off of that. So we got to do some math. And we're going to have something fun in this transaction called cents. You're actually going to have some cents in a transaction now. Otherwise, everything's all been whole numbers. So the date is the 17th. My account title is going to be West Supply, not account payable West Supply, just West Supply, because we are going to use that accounts payable column. My check number is 324. How much in the books does it say we owe West Supply? Yep, $3,420. Would you agree? That's going to go in your accounts payable column. The amount of the original invoice must go in the accounts payable column. So $3,420 is going to go in your accounts payable column, not general. Now, they told us we get a discount. How much of a discount do we get? 2%. So in my calculator, I need to put 3,000 $420, and I'm going to multiply that by 2%, 0.02. When I do that, how much of a discount do I get? What is the actual value? 3,420 times 2%. What did you get? $68.40. That is how much my purchases discount is. So in purchases discount right here, I do $68.40. I am getting this discount because I'm paying them early. You cannot just ignore the fact in that transaction that says there's a less 2% discount. If you do that, all of your numbers are going to be wrong and you're just going to have a big, huge mess. Now, I have a debit and I have a credit, but do they equal? Oh, good slosh. No, they do not. So I have a debit of $3,420 and I have a credit of $68.40. I need to figure out how much I'm going to pay them. I'm going to do that by taking $68.40 away from $3,420, and I'm going to pay that West Supply $3,381.60. So these two numbers right here need to equal this one. If you don't, your debits and credits will never equal. You cannot just take your accounts payable number and put it into your cash credit column. If it says you have a trade discount, or excuse me, a discount, not a trade discount, I said that wrong. You will always know if there's a discount to take because it will tell you what the percent off is. You never have to guess at that. It'll always tell you right within the transaction. Last transaction, the 19th. Paid cash on account of Quill Forest Products, covering purchase invoice 182 for $4,380. No discount was offered. So we're going to do the date of the 19th. Account title is going to be Quill Forest Products. Check number 325. Do not put it in general. You have to go to accounts payable. We did not write the word accounts payable, so we have to go to the accounts payable column. And then I'm going to put in $4,380. What is the amount of our discount? Nothing. So I'm going to put $4,380 in cash. Not all businesses will have a discount that we could take. Did I do the wrong math? 3351? I'll try it again. 3420 minus 6840. Yep, I did not do math correctly. I would not have been able to get my debits and credits to equal at the bottom of the page. This is the most common mistake that is, the second most common mistake is miscalculating these numbers here, and then your totals will not equal at the bottom of your page. Go ahead and try on your own.
I didn't